energy checking this. Hello, this is Anne from Artemis Oracle, coming on unexpectedly. I wasn't expecting to do this, but I felt guided to do this. So I'm gonna do a reading, see what comes out. I hope you're all well, you're safe. Let's see what comes out with the Revealing the Truth Oracle deck. So we have 3 cards already: sacrifice, dedication, ritual, worship, voluntary, trash, waste, worthless, mouse, and hope, wish, expect, desire. You know, the first thing, as I was reading sacrifice and then seeing trash, I feel like some of you are getting rid of something. You're creating space for something. Something that no longer serves you is being removed. And you're doing this by choice. Which makes sense. Right now we're in a waning gibbous moon. So what that means is we're at this point where we're starting to release things, you know, and before we can start to release things, or as we're releasing things, we're creating space. We're preparing ourselves for a new cycle, a new moon phase. So there may be something that you've already come to a decision about sacrificing, removing from your life, removing the trash, the clutter, the energetic debris that no longer serves you. And it makes sense too with hope. You know, when we see a dandelion, what we usually do is we make a wish and we blow on it. And what happens? All those little things, I call them like pollen-like things, they just float away, you know? And as we are in this waning moon phase, we still got about a week and a half to go before we have a new moon. But this is like a time to start thinking about what you want. But right now, before you can actually make any moves towards what it is you want, you have to get rid of anything that would be a blockage, would be a hindrance of whatever intention you already have your mind on, whatever wish you're hoping to become a reality, you know. Some of you may be considering getting rid of bad habits, maybe like quitting drinking, quitting drugs, quitting sex, even, you know, anything that isn't really doing you any good. But I feel like you're doing this not to punish yourself in a way, but to free yourself, to liberate yourself. Because if you look at the sacrifice card, the figure looks like they're freeing themselves, you know, like they have no weight on their shoulder. They're taking the weight, the burdens, the stress, anxieties, and they're releasing it. I think this is really beautiful because whatever it is that you're releasing is going to give you cause to have hope, to have faith that whatever it is that you want will be coming towards you, will be coming to you. It's like if you were in this place where you were dealing with certain habits, coping mechanisms, they have probably been forms of escapism because you probably weren't ready to release this, whatever was causing you to engage in those types of behaviors, you know, those coping mechanism behaviors. You're realizing that it's serving no purpose in your life other than hindering you, keeping you blocked, keeping you trapped, probably even keeping you depressed, sad, keeping you in bed, you know. And you're realizing, yeah, it's time to let it all go. Because if you don't let it go, if you don't make the sacrifice, then you become the sacrifice. If that makes sense, right? If you don't make the sacrifice, you become the sacrifice. You will continue to wither away, waste away, because you're not seeing the truth, not seeing how certain habits, behaviors, patterns are essentially keeping you in a place of stagnation, a place where you won't see growth, even a hopeless place, and a mentally and emotionally hopeless space, you know, where you don't see the possibility of what good can come to you because you're so busy trying to block out all the bad. But there's a way to do that without destroying yourself in the process, without sacrificing yourself, your health, your life, your future. I really like that. That's really beautiful. Because it's like once you make that sacrifice, you're opening yourself up. Once you release the trash, just whatever it is that you know isn't good for you, it could even be a person. You allow yourself to have hope and faith that something better exists and something better is on its way to you. But like I said, it's about creating the space. But it's not only energetically, all has to be, well, energetically, of course, but it's depending on how you're thinking, your perception, your emotions. That affects your energetic field, you know? And if you're in a low vibrational place, the only thing you're going to continue to attract is trash. You know, you're going to continue to attract things that are not good for you. But when you take accountability and you start to make those changes, however small, because small changes do lead up to bigger changes, and then you see progress. It doesn't have to be something, a big grand gesture. It just has to be the intention and taking the steps. It's day by day, one step at a time. That's all it is. It doesn't have to be like something like huge where you like cold turkey. Some people can do cold turkey. Some people can't. You know, not everybody's built that way. You know, and healing isn't a linear process. Isn't a linear journey. It's something that has its ups and downs, and it's like a dance. You know, you'll take 2 steps forward and maybe 1 step back. You know, it's about going with the flow. You know, but with that process and that intention and that faith, whatever you want can come to you. You just have to be willing to make that sacrifice. Oh my gosh, look at this. In the bottom, I just saw this ascending. And you see her, the figures. It's a feminine figure, but it could be anything. It doesn't have to be a feminine. It's anyone this resonates with. When you make that sacrifice, you're allowing yourself to be weightless, allowing yourself to ascend to new levels, to new heights, to new places. When you're in your high vibrational state, when you're like feeling really good, you notice, especially if you're someone who has done drugs or has been drunk or anything, you know, you see, you get the way you can get, you know, some, depending on what, because alcohol is more depressant than anything. It's more downer. But if you've ever done anything that's ever made you feel high, that's what being in a positive energetic space is. You feel high, you feel euphoric. But you could do all that without relying on something or someone to make you feel that way, you know? So it's a matter of having that understanding, being honest with yourself. You know, saying that certain things aren't good for you, even though they may feel good. It's no judgment. I have my, I still struggle with my vices. My vice is food. Oh, maybe sex too. With the right person, it could become a vice. I'm being honest though. Okay, let's see what else comes out. I have the Love Oracle deck. So whoever's there, I appreciate you for taking time to stop by and give me a like. Possibly subscribe if you feel inclined to. My name is Tan and this is Artemis Oracle. Okay, so we're getting some different energy here with the Love Oracle deck. The first card we have is Spying. The second one is Conflict. Hopeless. Oh, it's interesting. In the bottom, you have emotional storm. Turmoil, unstable, affected. It's interesting because when I look at sacrifice and spying, I don't know if some of you may be in this habit of watching someone, and that could be something that you need to let go of, especially if it's someone that you probably don't want to let go of. It's not serving you in any way. Maybe it's a ritual that you have where you're watching someone. You have your little ritual, your routine, your schedule on when to view this person. And I'm only saying that because it's fine and it's under the sacrifice card. So some of you, it could be also sacrificing something that you're watching. If you're watching something that isn't serving you, maybe certain TV shows, listening to certain music or watching music videos. I won't even say porn because that doesn't really do you good, you know. So that could be something that, because spying is about watching, it's about looking, it's about observing, you know. It's a social network information way. So you could be spying on someone. I'm gonna say it's you because this is for whoever's watching and whoever it resonates with, you know. It's not going to resonate with everybody, but some people may be spying on someone, you know. It may be addictive, but it's not serving you. It's not serving you. It's worthless. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy, when you could be doing something way better. So if some of you may be feeling conflicted about whatever it is, making this decision, if it's something that you're already considering sacrificing, this is clashing differences and compatibility. If you are already in a relationship, there may be certain things that you're doing that is causing rift between you and whoever you're in a relationship with. So some of you may be, and you know what, and this could be resonate with, it could be vice versa. Take it how it resonates, because sometimes we have to release people because of their own habits and how it interferes with our own life, our relationship with them, even the environment itself. So some of you may be dealing with someone who has these types of habits, and you may be at this point, this crossroads, where you may be considering letting them go because these habits aren't productive. They're destructive, if anything. You know, especially if the person is someone who drinks heavily, because we do see a lot of alcohol here in this card. You see bottles on the floor. You see bottles right there. You could be, some of you may be in this depressed state, or it could be someone you're dealing with that's in this depressed state. And the spine could be you're seeing someone spiral. You're seeing someone's self-destruction. And as much as you may want to support them and guide them and try to help them, it's seeming like this is a journey that they have to go through on their own. Because we could want the best for people, but if they don't want the best for themselves, there's nothing we can do for them. We could be a support, but we don't want to be enablers. So some of you may be experiencing that sort of conflict, you know. Now, it's funny that we have hope and hopeless. You know, the situation can be one that seems hopeless, you know. But I feel like hope isn't lost, you know. It's a sinking despair, falling apart. So, I don't know. It could be some of you are dealing with this yourself, you know. If you, like I mentioned earlier, having to sacrifice things that aren't serving you, that are causing you to be stagnant, keeping you in this euphoric state because you're wanting to escape whatever exists in your reality. And I think it could be once you start to make this change, you know, and you make some sort of decision about this conflict that you may be dealing with personally, or if it's involving anybody else, you know, there's still hope, but it's a matter of one's outlook. You know, are you going to focus on what seems to make something better? How can you improve something? You know, if this is a situation where it seems hopeless It may be one that you need to escape from so that you can find hope again. Because if you stay in situations where it seems like things aren't going to get better, that things aren't going to get better unless you take yourself out of the situation itself. You know, this could be a very difficult, emotional decision to make, regardless if it's something for yourself or it's in regards to someone else. But it's a decision that you need to make if you want better for yourself, if you want to see your life elevate, improve in some way. Because if you continue to stay in a situation that has no hope, there will be no hope. You have to find hope outside of this situation, however it resonates with you. And like I said, and many times before in many of my other readings, it's easier said than done. Because depending on the situation, there may be complexities that don't make it easy to walk away, to move away, you know. But it's about already thinking and planning, considering what your options are. Because when it comes to you, your personal well-being, you have to make the choice that is best for you, regardless of who it may affect in the end. And sometimes those choices that we make for ourselves that are for our betterment have a positive impact. You know, it has that positive ripple effect on other people. You know, sometimes we can become the beacon of hope. But like I said, like I always say, people are responsible for their own healing and we're responsible for ours. And if a situation is seeming like it's not going to get better, then maybe it's a situation that you need to exit out of. Okay, so that's that. Let me see what else comes out. I got these new tarot cards. They're the Angel Tarot cards by Bradley Valentine. I thought they were cute, but I'll tell you this much. This deck is so hard to shuffle. I mean, I have large hands, right? But this deck is so... You see, it's a big one. It's a big one. So let's see what comes out. The card flipped. Let's see what comes out. I like these because they have these really, they have messages, but so they're kind of like a Oracle tarot card hybrid. So let's see what comes out. What's the collective needs to know at this time in regards to the situation? Okay, we got one card. We have the Moon, Archangel Haniel. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes. Release fears that hold you back. Yeah, I know it could be a difficult decision to make, but some of you are already knowing that it may be a decision that you're keeping secret, that you're not really telling other people, but it's something that you're feeling like deep down in your soul that is the decision that you need to make, you know? It's like, don't let your fears hold you back. Nine of Air, which is basically the Nine of Swords, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecy, sleepless nights. So some of you may be experiencing a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, sleepless nights, like it says, not being able to relax, to be calm, to be at ease. Like I said, it's conflict. It's mental, emotional conflict. Mental and emotional conflict. You know, so some of you may be experiencing that. When I lifted up the emotional storm, I see the card Second Chance. Second chance, reconciliations, making amends, opportunity. Okay, see, hope, hopeless. It's very interesting because, what was I talking about? Wasn't I talking about escaping? Look at that. Yeah, you can't run away from your problems. You have to face your problems. You know, there's no amount of drinking or drugging or fucking that's gonna make your problems go away. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it could be within a family situation too. Okay. So there may be something going on within your family, but you know, in order for you to be able to find hope, to have hope, to be hopeful, you also have to have an open heart. You also have to be receptive to receiving, you know, which is what having an open heart is. But in this moment, you know, emotions, they pass like storms do. Emotions are temporary. Emotions are teachers, but emotions are not vacations. Okay? Emotions are not staycations. You're supposed to feel the emotions and move on from them. You're not supposed to be sitting in them and wallowing and letting your life waste away, you know? Your emotions are teachers. They tell you what doesn't feel good, what feels right, what can be improved, what can change. You know, they happen so very quickly. They can happen in a moment's notice, and they can also disappear within a moment's notice. But it's all a matter of, are you willing to like allow yourself to feel the emotions, process them, and then move on from them? Or are you going to sit and stew in your emotions? You know, it's like you don't want to stay stuck. And this is what the Nine of Air energy is, the Nine of Swords. It's staying stuck in your thoughts, your fears, your worries, your insecurities, your limitations, perceived or not, you know. Let me see what else comes out. So I thank you for joining. My name is Tan. This is Artemis Oracle. Hi, Brittany. How are you? It's good to see you. So let's see what comes out. Six of Water, which is Six of Cups. Memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. You know, I'm okay. I decided to come on even though I was not expecting to. Hi, Kumar. How are you? So we have the Six of Water. This is Six of Cups. Nostalgic energy, past life, soulmates, children, childhood memories. You know, if you put all of this stuff together, this reading is essentially talking about childhood wounds that are continuously or continually pervading your current adult life. Things that you're still learning to cope with. This could be watching someone else go through this. So watching someone else deal with their childhood wounds and traumas and struggling. You know, maybe they're the type of person that does engage in escapist behaviors such as drinking, drugging, sex, other vices, gambling, stuff like that. You know, so someone, it could be you or whoever you're dealing with, has to, you know, really find a way to overcome whatever it is that's keeping them stuck. You know, romanticizing the past. You know, some people, and I actually know somebody like this, and I'm like, yeah, you think things were better then, but the thing is, sometimes we like to pretend that difficult situations that we were in, some people, they like to hone in on only the positive and forget about the negative. But when you do that, you're not allowing yourself to learn from the past. You know, you're basically lying to yourself, deceiving yourself, you know. And sometimes you have to look at the entire whole of the situation you experience, whether it was within your childhood or in a relationship, that there were shitty times, and those shitty times affected you. They have hurt you. They have shaped you in some way. But now it's time for you to overcome that, heal those wounds, heal those triggers, not think that you're bound to whatever your past is. Even if it was something that you did wrong in your past, you have to know that you can release the shame and move on. You know, you don't have to stay in this hopeless place. You know, you can find hope, but it's a matter of you freeing yourself from that, you know. And this could be somebody that's doing, it doesn't necessarily have to be you. It could be someone that you're dealing with, someone around you. It could be a friend, family member, lover. Take it as it resonates. Let's see what else comes out. Hi, Danielle. Okay, let's see what else comes out. Oh, Four of Air. It's about rest, recovery, healing, restoration. This is what this reading is about. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. I mentioned that some of you may be at this place where you have to make a decision. And it's one that is going to make or break something for you. It's going to be one that's going to allow you to overcome a situation and receive whatever it is that you're really hoping to receive. But it's a matter of leaving something behind, sacrificing something that is no longer serving you. And it could mean even sacrificing a person. And what I mean by that is moving away from them, detaching from them, no longer engaging with them. Because they probably have impacted you in a negative way where you are now adapting or adopting their negative mindset and mind space, and it's pervading into yours to the point where you have lost hope. And the only way for you to regain that is to sacrifice whatever the situation is that is no longer serving you. So that you can heal, you can recover. You know, time to rest or take a vacation. Like I said, your emotions are something that emotions are something we experience very quickly, and they can go away very quickly. Emotions are not vacations. They're not places that we're supposed to stay in. And they're not staycations either. Vacations are staycations. Emotions are just our teachers. We're supposed to learn from them and move on from them and grow from them, not stay in them, wallow in them, and basically waste away in them. Hi, Subra. How are you? Uh-oh. My card fell. Oh, it was the Queen of Water, and the Queen of Water, which is Queen of Cups, fell in the reverse. I'm going to note that. It says tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. Like I mentioned earlier, this is about you, right? If it's about you, you have to take care of yourself. You have to prioritize yourself, right? If this is about somebody else, they have to make the decision to heal, to move past whatever past pains, experiences, traumas that they've experienced. And that takes time, right? That's how the change in outlook can happen. But when I was mentioning the Oracle cards, right here we have emotional storm, second chance. So some of you may have an opportunity to improve your relationship, you know, and it has to do with someone needing to stop this escapist activities that they may engage in with the trash card, you know. The drinking, the drugs, everything, the vices, you know, because someone is doing that to escape whatever issues they're having. It could be within a family dynamic, you know, but you can't escape. You can't escape. You can't run away from your problems. You need to face them in order to solve them if a second chance is possible, that's the only way a second chance can happen. Is to face your issues and come to some sort of resolution. You can't run away from your problems because your problems, they're always going to exist. And that's why people get caught up in this cycle of addiction or become addicted, is because they can't escape. Eventually the highs fade and then they have to go back to it. And then that's where the degradation, the destruction, the self-destruction occurs. And we're not meant to do that. We're meant to heal and live and grow, love, and just make the best out of our lives. Easier said than done, I know. Thank you. Super, I'm not answering questions. I'm not doing yes or no questions today. I'm just doing a reading. Knight of Air. Intelligent, decisive, idealistic, tireless. Events that occur with great speed take time to carefully review your options, creative solutions. I talked about like some of you may have to make a decision about something, and it's one that possibly has caused you a lot of stress and anxiety. It's something that you probably have been thinking and feeling secretly, with the moon card and the nine of air, which is the nine of swords. So it's coming to a point where you have to make a decision, right? But you have to make sure that this decision isn't made rashly, especially if the situation is complex in itself. Hi Silva, I'm not doing any personal readings today. No personal readings today. Yeah, you have to take time to carefully review your options. It says creative solutions, so depending on the situation at hand, you may have to get creative, but I don't know about that. I don't know how that resonates with this. I know sometimes when we want to help people, we try to be creative and find different solutions that may inspire them or enlighten them. So that may resonate in some way. Let me see what else comes out. Let's see what else comes out. Ten of Fire, Ten of Wands is burdens, responsibilities, too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance, stress-related health concerns. So some of you may be feeling a burden by whatever it is that you're experiencing, and it's now time for you to ask for help. It's time to help release those burdens. Sometimes that requires sacrifice. Sometimes there's certain things that you need to sacrifice. And one of the sacrifices, especially is pride, I would say. Especially if you're in this place where you have too many responsibilities, you have a lot of things on your plate and you're not able to do things on your own, you may need to ask for help. And when it comes to this type of situation, it may be time for you to ask for help, depending on how burdensome the situation is for you in itself. Some of this, like some of you, I don't know if some people it could be a child that this can be involving. If your child is experiencing certain issues, maybe with addiction, depression, it may be time to get help for them. Because we do have the Six of Water, which is Six of Cups, and which involves children. So some of you may be dealing with that with a child. It could be an air sign child, or a water sign child. Because we have the Queen of Water, Queen of Cups, or the Knight of Swords. And then, let me see what else comes out. The Knight of Water. Yeah. This is about wishes coming true. Once you're able to find a way to resolve whatever issues, sacrifice whatever needs to be sacrifices, your wish can come true. If you're trying to manifest something, attract something into your life, you have to create the space for it. I mentioned that in the beginning. There may be something you have to detach from, that you have to move away from. You have to release and let go with the sacrifice and trash card. And then hope, because it creates the space for whatever it is that you're hoping to attract into your life, right? And the Nine of Cups, basically with the Nine of Water, is basically almost wish fulfillment. It's a wish coming true. It's emotional satisfaction. Concerns fade away, a love life. So this could be concerning a love life too. But a wish comes true. So some of you may be trying to manifest a person in your life, but it's a matter of you're changing your outlook. The trash that you can have is the way you see yourself, your perception of yourself, you're not seeing your value, only looking at the negative aspects of yourself rather than looking at the positive. It could be that. This reading, Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life. Now, it doesn't have to be with career, but Ace of Fire is something new, exciting, coming through. A new beginning is with something that ignites passion in you, excites you, possibly even turns you on in a good way, not in the toxic way, but something that just makes you excited and motivates you. It could be a person. You know, we did have the Nine of Water, a love of life. Love life. I read that wrong, a love life. But it could be a love situation, like I said. I mean, this reading can resonate in so many different ways for people. Because I try to get as much as I can from this. So, it's like it's very clear. If you need to get help, reach out to someone. Reach out for resources, support that can help you with something. Especially if you feel like you can't do it on your own. Release what isn't serving you. It doesn't have to be a big grand gesture. It could be something that takes time. It does take time, but it's something that you have to take steps towards, you know. A hopeless situation can be hopeful. It's just a matter of what way you're looking at it and how you're keeping yourself bound. Are you going to trap yourself in negative mindsets, negative loops that keep you trapped in something that isn't serving you? That basically is a self-fulfilling prophecy of dissatisfaction, unhappiness, distress, worry, failure, you know? Or are you going to choose to release yourself or detach yourself, change your mindset, take the steps to do that so that you can restore hope. You can restore your faith in something so that you can ascend, and that whatever it is that you're hoping to attract into your life, whether it's a partner, it's an opportunity, a love job, a solution when it comes to healing and family, however it is, it's a matter of changing your mindset and not romanticizing the past, not letting your past define who you are and define what your future is. It's about learning, taking the lessons, moving away from what no longer serves you, and going towards what you want, what you desire most. You know, the past serves as a teacher, so do our emotions, but it shouldn't be what keeps us stuck and stagnant and unhappy and hopeless, feeling hopeless. Like, we're in charge of our own healing the way other people are. We could be a support to them, but ultimately, other people are responsible for their healing just as we are. We are responsible for our own happiness. So, okay, so that's that with that reading. Wow, I was on for 38 minutes. Wow, I could talk a lot. I can talk a lot. These cards go together. All right, let's see. If it's a love situation, I just moved this deck and I see this card, Reconcile. So some of you may be reconciling with somebody, coming back together, repair, cure, understanding, concession. It's funny because that love deck, I saw the escaping card. Some of you can't escape this person. This person cannot escape you. I kind of want to dig into this reconcile card. I want to see what this reconciliation is about. Maybe it's something totally different. This card stood in a... When I pick up the... Oh, so you may be dealing with the King of Pentacles energy. That's an earth sign energy. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Someone who's wealthy, stable, secure, successful, grounded. Let's see what comes out. So I just want to use a different deck. I'm going to put that deck away. I want to know more about this reconciliation. So I'm going to use the Love Oracle deck. First, I'll try to see because I kind of want to do this. I want to use the Revealing the Truth deck. See what we can get about this reconciliation. Reconcile, repair, cure, understanding, concession. Repair. Can you tell me about this reconcile? Tell me about reconcile, Spirit. Firm, wide awake, clean, decisive. Some of you are wanting to reconcile with somebody. It's a matter of you explaining to them what your standards and boundaries are and standing firm in them. Crown, owner, master, top level. It's funny because when I saw this card, the thing I thought about, this is the Queen of... This card reminds me of the Queen of Swords. It's like the Queen of Swords. Crown. I think this is a matter of, you know, if you're someone who wants to reconcile or someone's trying to reconcile with you, you're going to let them know what it is. That you're at this place where you're not going to settle for anything less. You know who you are. You know what you deserve. And you're not expecting anything less from that. So it's like you're letting them know that you're someone that has firm standards and boundaries, and that you expect nothing but respect in return. There needs to be an understanding about that. Let me see what else comes out with revealing the truth. Sing. Yeah, this is about speaking your truth. Speaking from your heart. Makes me think of that song, Tell It to Your Heart. Tell it to my heart. Tell me I'm the only one. Is this really love or just a game? That song came to my mind. That's Taylor Dane. Somebody's name could be Dane or Taylor. Start with the letter T or D. Look for investigation, explore, search. I feel like it's like if somebody wants to reconcile with you, you're going to be explaining to them that this is what it is. That you're going to tell them the truth. You're going to be speaking from your heart. You're going to be honest. You're not playing games. Because in the song, is this really love or just a game? And the crown says owner, master, top level. When you think about video games, somebody's always at the top level. Somebody always wants a higher score. Somebody wants to be the master of the game. But I feel like this could be you deciding that you're going to be calling the shots. And not to be controlling of a relationship or situation, but more so to let the person know that you have the power. That if they do something, say something, imply something, they do something that just lets you know that they're not the one for you, or they're not going to give you the respect that you deserve in the situation itself, then you're going to cut them off. You're going to cut their asses off. Because you're not playing any games. For you, love isn't a game. You know, whatever this relationship is, if you're considering reconciliation with this person, this is a reconciliation that you're not going to take lightly. You don't want to reconcile just to reconcile to break up again. This is a reconciliation where you want it to go somewhere. You want it to actually improve and change and level up in any way where it could lead to something long term, or it is something that's long term. But I feel like some of you may be doing your due diligence with coming to this decision, because with the look for card, investigation, explore, search, you're going to be looking to see if this person that wants to reconcile with you is someone that's up to par, that can meet your standards. Yes, this is the second collective. I did a first collective message. This is the second reading, and this reading is about reconciliation. It's about reconciling. I hope you're doing well, Naima. So it's like you are speaking from your heart. You're letting someone know what your standards are and what you expect. And if this is a decision that you're coming to, you're going to be looking for any indication from this person that it's worth considering reconciling. If there's something that doesn't sit well with you, then you know that you have to make that decision to detach, to exit the situation, or not even reconcile with the person, because you want more than what was already given. And reconciliation isn't a joke for you. It's where you're like, okay, if we're going to be together, we're going to stay together, we're going to work together, we're going to improve our relationship, and it's going to be great. It's not like, oh, we're going to get together just so we could fuck and then the end, you know? Like it becomes a cycle, you know? This is a reconciliation where you're like, you already know what you want. You're very clear, and you're going to be communicating that very clearly, because you're going to be speaking from honestly from your heart to that person to let them know what it is, where you stand, you know. But like I said, this is a decision that is not going to be taken lightly, because you want to make sure that it's the information, what you're seeing, what you're observing validates whether or not the relationship is worth considering for reconciliation, you know. And if it's one that you've already decided to do, where you have reconciled, you are on the lookout to make sure that things are going the way that both of you are in alignment. You know, you're going to be looking at their actions. Are their actions matching their words? Are the words matching their actions? Are they being consistent? Are they being honest? Are they being open? Are they being faithful? You know, are they honoring you? Are they honoring the relationship with the crown? You know, and if they're not doing that, you already know what you got to do. You got to make that firm, final decision. But it's one that you'll accept, because you already know, you're already aware of what you deserve. Okay, so that's what revealing the truth with that reconciliation. I feel like I don't really need to add anything else to that, because it's so clear. You know, what's the point of reconciling with somebody if it's not going to go anywhere? If it's not going to go anywhere, then the relationship should just end, and then you move on and find someone who aligns with what you envision for yourself when it comes to marriage and commitment and family. You know, you want somebody that has a loyal heart, someone who's going to pour into you as much as you will pour into them. Let's see. I don't know if I need to this. Let me see what else comes out. Thank you for everyone who's joining. Thank you so much. Thank you for the likes. I'm not sure if anybody subscribed, but if you have subscribed, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. My name is Tan. This is Artemis Oracle. Okay, I feel like I don't really need to read that anymore. This was such a very clear-cut reading. So clear. Okay, let me see what else I can do. Okay, I'm going to do another reading. I'm going to use the straight up Love Oracle deck. Seven. I see 7. That was 9-7. 9-7. So if you're new here, my name is Tan. This is Artemis Oracle, my channel. I'm a tarot and oracle card reader. I just finished doing 2 readings. Now I'm going to start a new one. Wait. This is part of this deck. That's so funny. I thought it was part of the Love Oracle deck. So that was the revealing the truth reading, apparently. Now I'm going to go into the Love Oracle deck. Let me see what comes out. I just saw the card commitment. Marriage promises fidelity. And we're talking about loyal heart. Don't allow yourself to get bitter if a situation doesn't work out. Don't stay stuck in a situation that will cause you to become bitter. It's not worth it. Because when you get like that, you're punishing yourself. You're hurting yourself. Okay. Got Abandoned, left out, walked out, away. Shocking. Turmoil, trouble, unexpected. Oh, wow. Obsession, infatuation, adoration, addiction. That's interesting. Conflict was at the bottom of the deck. Clashing differences, incompatibility. You know what I got? Somebody ghosted somebody. They left somebody. The person was not expecting that. With the shocking card. But I think that might cause the person to become obsessed. Or this person's obsession, if they've already had one, it's going to reach a... It's like, I don't know if they were obsessed already and is now going to manifest itself like fully as an obsession. It does say adoration. So if some of you are walking away from a situation, this person that you're dealing with is going to be shocked. But sometimes when that happens, the feelings that they may have for you may surge up. So if this is someone who does love you so much, the thought of you leaving them will drive them crazy. It will drive them crazy. But if you are leaving them, you're walking away, it's because there was too many things going on that was interfering with your relationship. There was so many differences. It could be a difference of values, a difference of the outlook on what you want in your relationship, or you just didn't get along. You no longer get along. That's what I'm getting from these cards. Okay, let's see what comes out. I'm gonna clarify abandon. Can you tell me about abandon? Left out, walked away. I didn't even show you the cards. Abandon, left out, walked away. Cold. Some of you may have turned icy on somebody too. Can you tell me about the abandoned card? Tell me about abandoned. Tell me about abandon. Oh, that card flipped. 5 of Cups. Yeah, somebody's emotionally disappointed, sad. With the 5 of Cups here. Like a situation, the past, something that happened in the past. Someone stuck in the past. Crying over spilled milk, as they say, with the 5 of Cups. Tell me more about the 5 of Cups with the abandoned card. 10 of Pentacles. Ooh, some of you may have left a family. Maybe some of you were wanting a family. But whatever situation you moved away from, it wasn't a possibility. You know what's funny? Because the way the card fell, it looks like somebody's watching somebody else in a family. You know? They're watching someone else move on, or someone in a family dynamic. Ooh. It's the way that card fell. I know some people, they may be dealing with third-party situation, maybe dealing with someone who has a family already, but it doesn't have to be that. Maybe somebody feels left out from their family. Somebody may have been kicked out of their family home. Tell me more about the 10 of Pentacles with 5 of Cups and abandoned. see. Judgment. Oh, somebody made a decision. Someone is trying to make a decision. If some of you are, the judgment card could be, it could be literally about court, like a judgment being made. Some of you may be going through a divorce, a separation, a legal separation that may be involving a family dynamic. Maybe you have a family and but it could be about whether or not some of you may be considering moving away from a situation, like maybe wanting to end a relationship or marriage. If you do have children, you do have a family with someone. Some of you may be at this place where you're considering walking away, moving away. Or this is something that you could have experienced in the past, that you were abandoned by somebody and you had a family with them. But if that's the case, there may be somebody wanting to either revive the situation, or it could just simply be an actual judgment being made. Like it could be like a court situation where it's reaching that point where the cycle is going to be closing, like if you were abandoned, your partner left, you're getting divorced, the divorce is finalizing, and now you're going to be able to close out the cycle with the World card. If that comes after judgment, and then you have a new beginning. So that could be something. That could be something some of you may be experiencing or have experienced. But if this is that type of situation where somebody left, it was something that was not expected with the shocking card. I mean, this could be happening now. It could have happened already. Everybody's on a different timeline, So let's see what the shocking card is. What is shocking? What is shocking? Tell me about the shocking. Knight of Cups. What else? Page of Wands. 2 people. Okay, no, that card. I thought a card flipped. Okay, that card just flipped. The Star. The Page of Wands is so the Knight of Cups is someone who is loving, who does what they love. They go after what they love. They do what they love and they go after who they love. They're romantic and charming and caring. But then the Page of Wands can be an energy that pages are communicators. They communicate messages. They give messages. They deliver messages. But the Page of Wands is someone that's a fire sign energy. So these are younger energies. So if you're older, or you may be younger, it could be somebody's older than you, or you're younger than them, or they're younger than you. You know what I mean? But the Star is about healing, but it's also about wish fulfillment. If some of you were abandoned by somebody, they walked away from you. I don't know. I keep saying the word abandoned because that's the card, but it says left out, walked away, cold. If someone has been cold towards you, has walked away from you, who has left you, they may be coming back, maybe returning. And that may be something that you have been wanting. That may be something that you've been wishing for. Now, if it's a situation where you're closing out a cycle where someone has left you, you're divorcing, you're finalizing the divorce, and it could have been for some time, you may be at this point where somebody may be coming forward towards you, giving you a love offer, coming in with a love offer. They could be a younger fire or water sign, and it could come unexpectedly. You could be minding your own business, doing your own thing, tending to your garden, taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, loving on yourself, healing yourself. That someone comes out of nowhere and they're expressing that they're attracted to you, that they care about you, they have feelings for you, that they would like to start something with you. This person may find you to be their wish fulfillment. Ooh, that's kind of That's kind of sexy in a way, you know? Like if you ending a situation, then something unexpectedly happens, you know? And we talk about this, like sometimes when you're in relationships that aren't working out, and then you finally move on, you detach from the person, you move on, and you open yourself up to something new, and you've already done the healing, or you're in your healing journey. And it's like something this is like a lesson, you know, like you create the space for something that's truly meant for you to come in by moving away from something that wasn't meant for you to stay in, you know. And then somebody quickly can enter into your life, and it could happen so unexpectedly, you know. Like you see her here, she's just like minding her own business, and look at this, you got these two people coming towards her, you know. Could be two people. I don't know why I said two people. So it could be two people coming. There could be somebody that is attracted, you know, has like they want to just have fun, because the Page of Wands is like the fun energy. Or it could be someone who is coming in with emotions. Or it could just be one person who is also like very playful and fun, but also has emotional depth, you know. But I can't deny this. It does say turmoil or trouble. So if this is a situation where you may have two people vying for you, I would say just be very careful with that, because we do have the obsession card coming out, and we don't want anybody to become like that cuckoo. I go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs crazy, you know? We don't want that kind of obsession, you know? That could be where the conflict is coming from too, because there may be a difference between two people that may be coming in, you know, who may be coming in with offers. And you have to see who is the most compatible person for you, who matches what you want, because some of you may just want to have fun, and some of you may want something serious and long-standing. But it's about making the choice that's best for you, not allowing yourself to get conflicted about like, who should I go with, you know? No. If you know, go with what you want, who aligns with you. If it's two different people, you know. So we have the Tower for obsession. Yeah, something unexpected, shocking. Kind of goes with the shocking card if you really think about it. Yeah. Somebody may be coming up, maybe the person that's coming towards you, if it's a new person, or somebody that may be wanting to reconcile, because that's also possible too, where you may be conflicted. Where there's somebody may blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's think of it this way. The Page of Wands could be a new person, right? Right? And then the Knight of Cups could be somebody that you've already had an emotional investment with. And the trouble could be like deciding, do I want to go back to a situation where this person probably left me out in the cold, abandoned me, the strong word to use, but you may have felt that way. You may have felt abandoned by them. But then you're like, okay, I get to choose what I want, you know. But somebody may be expressing, what I wanted to say though was somebody may be coming back and expressing how much they adore you, how much they can't imagine their life without you. And I'm just looking at obsession, not in the like crazy way, but more like a person doesn't want to let you go, but not because of selfish reasons, but because they could possibly see a future with you. Possibly this is someone that left you, and then they're like, yo, no, I made a bad choice. I could see myself having a family with you. You know, it's depending. Everybody's situation is different, you know. You know, so someone may be coming back with the Judgment, you know, wanting to revive something, to research something. But then what can complicate it is if there is another person coming in with an offer, you know, that could be the shocking thing. Or it could just simply be the person coming back, you know, giving you, wanting to start something new again, renew your relationship. But with the Judgment card, we're just going to read it that way too. Take the message as it resonates, because I try to look at all scenarios, because all of us have different scenarios in our lives. We're in different timelines. We have experienced certain things that other people haven't experienced, and they've experienced things that we haven't experienced, if that makes sense, you know. So the Tower with the Empress. I was not expecting that. If you look at the obsession card, you see that there's these two people there. It's like a lustful situation. I'm like, it could be love too, but when we consider obsession on its own, this looks like lust, right? But it could be love too. It does say infatuation, adoration, addiction. I would say that some of you beware if you don't want to have a family. Take precaution, because if you reunite with somebody and you and them get intimate, or you get intimate with a new person, there's a possibility that you can end up pregnant with the Empress card showing up, you know, and the Tower. Unexpected pregnancies are towers, you know, unexpected pregnancies are towers. So that is possible. That can be possible. So if that's something that you don't want, take precaution. Take necessary precautions with this card. 5 of Wands, conflict. Because if that happens, that may cause conflict too. And then we have here conflict, clashing, differences, and compatibility. But underneath that, we have second chance, reconciliation, making amends, and opportunity. I don't know if some of you, if you have, like, say a situation ended already, you may be finding out you're pregnant by that person that you may be having. Oh my gosh, some of you, if you already knew you were pregnant, that's probably why the person left. That could be why. That could be why the abandonment happened. Because there was conflict. You know, sometimes when an unexpected pregnancy, an unexpected pregnancy happens, that could trigger fear, and especially if someone wasn't expecting it or wasn't wanting that. So that may cause somebody to leave, to run away. But this person may be wanting to come back and wanting to apologize, wanting to make amends. If that's the case, and with this new information with the tarot cards, this person may end up wanting to solidify your relationship, you know? Possibly marriage. That's what I mean by solidify the relationship. But there was conflict. It probably was because of an unexpected pregnancy. Hopefully sometimes it happens, somebody gets pregnant by somebody else. Okay, I'm throwing that out there because that happens too. That happens. We got the moon. That's about secrets. I don't know if somebody got somebody else pregnant or somebody got pregnant by somebody else. Something like that. But it definitely caused some sort of conflict. But somebody's wanting a second chance. But that may be a secret. That may not resonate with everybody. And that could be the cause of why something ended, you know, because the Ten of Swords came out. Painful ending, heartbreaking in a way. Definitely heartbreaking if that's the case with someone possibly getting someone else pregnant. That may not resonate with everybody. I got to clarify that. I have to reiterate that. I have to repeat it because not everybody is dealing with situations like that. But it's like once that secret came out, it's like it caused something ended, it caused a painful ending. But then look, the Ace of Pentacles. It's like there's an opportunity for a new beginning, you know? And we did have second chance with the 8 and this opportunity with the second chance card. But it's a matter of coming to some sort of resolution about this situation. I mentioned commitment, marriage, possibly. With the Hierophant coming up with the Ace of Pentacles. Possibly a proposal of marriage. That's interesting. You know what's so funny? I look at this card and then it makes me think about Die with a Smile. Die with a Smile. That's Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, right? I look at this moon I swear, doesn't that, like, you could tell me if I'm wrong. Doesn't the moon kind of look like Lady Gaga? Lady Gaga or, damn it, I wish you could see it. It looks like Lady Gaga's profile or Barbara Streisand. But just made me think about the song Die With a Smile. That's with Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga. That might resonate with somebody. Okay, I want to look up the lyrics to that song. Because there's something about, oh my gosh, I remember I was hearing this song with a friend. Die With a Smile. If the world was ending, I want to be next to you. If the party was over and our time on earth was through, I'd want to hold you just for a while and die with a smile. If the world was ending, I'd want to be next to you. That's the part that I'm hearing in my mind. I want to be next to you. So that could be where this obsession is coming from. This person doesn't want to be away from you. They want to be with you. They want to be next to you. That's so interesting. Okay, I think I'm done with that reading. Wow. That was an interesting reading to do. I don't know who it resonated with. I hope the reading was helpful, insightful in some way to someone who may be experiencing that. And I'll tell you this much. If you were someone who was pregnant and the person left you because they were afraid, I understand that fear. I understand that. The sadness, the fear of, oh my gosh, am I going to be raising this baby on my own? Am I going to be a single mom, you know? If someone left because they found out you were pregnant. That's scary. But from what this looks like, it may be somebody wanting, they may have ran away because they were afraid, but they may be coming back because they want to be next to you. With the cards that we got, this person may even propose. Create that 10 of Pentacles that we saw with the abandoned card. We saw the 5 of Cups with the 10 of Pentacles and the Judgment. It's like they came to a decision. So some of you, the person that may have left you, they may want a family with you. They want to have a family with you. They've come to that decision. They've made that judgment that that's what they want after causing some sort of disappointment from walking away, from leaving. Okay. That was very specific. I mean, with the baby part, that was very specific. Okay, let me see if I want to do anything else. I've been on for over an hour. I've done, how many readings have I done? I think I did 3 or 4 readings already. 3 or 4 separate tarot and oracle card readings. Okay. I feel like I'm on a roll. Let me check something real quick. Wow. I've just reached 1,000 subscribers. I was just checking. I reached 1,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Wow. Wow, I reached 1,000. Thank you, Naima. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for whoever subscribed. Thank you so much. Wow. And this is so funny because I see the Ten of Cups was peeking up. It was at the top of the deck, and like right now, I feel very, very happy. I feel. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I feel really good right now. I feel so good. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's exciting. I'm very proud to have reached that achievement, and I don't take it lightly because I've done other things on social media that I gave up on. But since I've hold on a minute. I always did things that I was like, oh yeah, I'm interested in this, and then I always give up, you know, because I don't see the results fast enough. And then with this channel, I decided to have a different outlook, and you know, I'm just like, that's why I'm like, I never reached 1,000 in anything, only in my bank account. So yeah, so just for that, I want to do yes or no questions. Yes or no questions. So I'm gonna answer yes or no questions. Yes or no questions will be the cards yes, it'll be upright. If it's no, it's reversed. Okay, so only yes or no questions. If I feel inclined to add more information based on the card that comes out, then I will. So if anybody has a yes or no question, you can ask it now. So does anybody have a yes or no question they would like to ask? Obviously, you have to be a subscriber. Because without subscribers, I couldn't reach that 1,000 goal. That was, wow. My friend called it. He did. He called it. I'm going to share it with him. Ooh. That's a hard question, because when it comes to that, it's like you have to trust your intuition. You have to look at the signs. You have to see with what signs that she's giving you that's making you ask that, you know. And that's, you don't have to put in the chat. It's something you have to ask yourself, like what is giving you that indication that she's cheating? Because most of the time when you suspect someone is cheating, it's probably because they are. Let me, I just want to take this. I'm gonna send this to my friend. Okay. Just so you know, these are only cards. So if you're asking this question from a place of insecurity, let's see what comes out. And only take the messages if they resonate. Okay? Because I was at that place where I was insecure and thinking somebody was cheating on me. But you know what cheating is to you, because everybody has their own definition. So we're going to find out. So these are just cards. Okay? So let's see what the cards say. But remember, you're responsible for your own actions, your own reactions. And the best thing to do is ask. You should be asking Aisha, not me. But we're going to answer that question for you. Oops. Cheating on her part. You got two no's. You have two no's. You heard? You have two no's with the Sun and the Queen of Swords reversed. The cards are saying no, she's not. She's not being unfaithful with other guys. Whatever insecurities you have to address them. Because if it's, the cards are saying no, but if you're basing your that judgment, or that you're thinking that based off insecurity, that is going to be a turnoff to her, you know. Thank you, Monet or Monette. Let me know if I'm saying, is it Monet or Monette? It's looking like no, but I would say you definitely you're tired. I would say your best, you have to have a conversation with her about it. If your insecurities are that strong. Thank you, Monette. If you have a question, a yes or no question, I can answer it for you. So if it's a yes, the card will be upright. If it's a no, the card will be reversed. You definitely need to have a conversation with her, because that could be, when I would say, and when insecurity is, when someone's insecure in a relationship, that can negatively impact a relationship, you know. So have a conversation with her. I'm gonna but why don't you believe her? Is there something that you see that makes you think that? You know, if she says she hasn't, then why don't you believe her? The question that you need to ask yourself is, are you ready to be in a relationship? Because if someone has done that to you in the past, it makes sense that you want to protect yourself and not, you want to make sure that the person you're currently with isn't doing the same thing, but you don't want to be projecting your insecurities or fears onto her, because it could get to the point where she may not want to be with you anymore, because why would anybody want to be with someone that doesn't trust them? And if you feel like she is, then maybe, yeah, and if you don't believe her, then maybe you shouldn't be in a relationship with her. But that's something you have to decide for yourself. You know, you have to do what's right for you. But yeah, that's a question you need to ask yourself, you know. Let me see something. Does anybody have a yes or no question they'd like me to answer for them with the cards? Okay, I'm just checking my messages. So if nobody else has a question, I think I'm gonna pop off because I've done a couple of readings since I've been on. So if you want to see what I've read, I did like 3 or 4 separate readings. Very interesting, different. Some were love, some were about self. But if you have a question, you can let me know. But if not, I'm gonna end the live stream in the next few minutes. Okay, so you want to see if the person you started seeing is in a relationship. Okay. Is the person that you're seeing in a relationship? Okay. If it takes long, it's because there's a specific card meant for you. I feel like that card wants to come out. Oh God, this is gonna sound cliche. I got a yes, because you saw that card, it really stood out. It's a yes, but you got this, the 9 of Cups in reverse. So, and this is why I say it's cliche. I think the person is in a relationship, might be. Please take it as it resonates. Oh, I feel like if they are in a relationship, they're not happy in it. And that's why it's like, that's so cliche, because that's what people say, oh, I'm in a relationship, I'm not happy. So I don't know if they're like in the process of getting They're separating or divorced, or the relationship is like getting to that point where it's dead. It could be that. It could be that type of situation for you. Oh gosh, it's hard answering those questions because you never know what the card's gonna say, and that's what I was saying. It's so cliche because that's what people usually say. I'm not happy in my marriage, or I'm not happy in my relationship. That doesn't make it right, But another thing that popped in my mind is I don't know if they have a kid. Do they have a kid? That popped in my mind. I don't know if they have a child or something. Yeah. I don't know if they have a son or something, because the Page of Wands is it was a boy in the card. Okay, a daughter. Okay, because the card showed the Page of Wands was a boy. That's why I asked if specifically a boy. But it could be someone that they have a kid with and that they're with, but they might be in that relationship because of the child. But like you said, you don't, it's not good to get involved with somebody. Oh, wow. I would say if, I hate that. Like when you feel that, like you sense that they might be somebody else. But it's tricky when they have kids because the kids are the priority. So it may seem like there's somebody else in the picture. Then this is why background checks are so crucial. Because we don't want to get caught up in these types of situations, Yes. Yeah. The way a guy answers the questions, especially if the answering the question with a question, that's evasive. It's either yes or no, an answer. You don't give me a question to my question. That's deceptive, and I've experienced that, and that's frustrating too. It's like they're skirting around. Like, why do you ask that? Why do you say that? Why do you think that? No, why can't you answer the fucking question? Are you in a relationship? It's yes or no, not why do you think that? Why do you say that? That's not an answer, It's yes or no. If you can't answer the question, it's because you don't want to tell the truth. That's what I was like, ugh. That's when I saw the yes and then the bottom card was a no and the Nine of Cups. I'm like, I don't care if you're unhappy in a relationship. If you're not happy in a relationship, end it. Leave. I mean, it's easier said than done, but it's better than being a cheater. I'm sorry, Monet. But at least, like you said, it's new and you probably didn't invest as much, but... Yeah. And what's funny? I did a reading earlier about somebody coming back around. If you already know their MO and they haven't changed anything, then they're not worth your time and energy. And you deserve somebody who's going to be honest and answer your questions and not have you second guessing or, trying to find a different way to get them to answer it, answer the question for you. Good. Always trust your instincts. Unless insecurity is involved, because then when you have insecurity, that can cloud your judgment. That could cloud judgment. When people have insecurity, that clouds judgment. Trust me, I know that from my own experience. Yeah, but he needs to be honest, And so, and like we could have that attraction to somebody, but then if there's something that's like not sitting right with us, then that's something that's telling us to refrain, to hold back, no matter how magnetic they may be, Okay, does anybody else have a question? And thank you for allowing me to read for you, Monette. You're welcome, and thank you for subscribing. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you too for taking time to spend it with me on my live. So it looks like there's nobody else with a question. I'm already getting like a little antsy, so I think it's time for me to head out. I thank everyone so much for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. It's an amazing accomplishment, and I'm so grateful for everyone who felt that I don't want to say worthy, but felt like they connected with me and wanted to subscribe. So I really appreciate all of you so much, and I hope to see you soon. I don't know if I'll be on live tomorrow. Maybe I will be. Just, keep on the lookout if you want to see more from me. Have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are, and I'm sending you lots of love and light. Thank you so much again. Take care, everyone. Bye. Bye, Monette.